Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Check it out. Pooh Shiesty arrested with his father. They rolled up in the crib. You heard what happened yesterday. It's on and popping. Put it in the comments. What do you think? We're going to break it down. They were saying that it was Gucci Man. Now we got the evidence. The facts are coming out. They got a news conference I'm going to play. I'm going to break it down so you could fully understand what the charges are and the time that he's looking at as a felon in possession of not only a firearm, but a machine gun type AK-47 firearm. I'm going to let you know what time he's looking at right now, and you're not going to like it. All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca audio, man. Pooh Shiesty in the world of a lot of trouble. We're going to get right in it. We're going to play the news conference. They're going to break down what he's looking at, and I'm going to break it down so you could understand what they're saying he's looking at, because we all speak a different type of urban ebonics. Hit the like button and let's keep it moving.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting.
Who do you think that other person is? Put it in the comments. Who do you think they're talking about, that other music executive? See how they playing the games here, and we all know. I want y'all to put it in the comments.
Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint.
Let me explain to you what that AK-47 pistol means for Pooh Shiesty right now, just coming out of jail for 1 gun charge and this being his second. That's called a felon in possession of a firearm, and that jumps your time up from like 12 years to 20 years, you know, because he's dealing with an AK-47 assault rifle. That brings it to 20 years. If it was just a handgun, it would have been 12 years. And that's by itself from the kidnapping. The kidnapping, again, is another 20 to 25 years is the low end where it starts. So he's looking at 40 to 45 years at least in prison right now. And I'm letting you know what it is. It depends what else he got in the background, if they run it up to life. But we're going to play this out. I'm going to let them tell you, and I'm going to get back into that because we like to ride.
The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items.
See, so they're trying to say that Pooh Shiesty held the AK-47 on him. It's underling strip the other rapper of, you know, his jewels and, you know, expensive goods. And then they're going to talk about how they go on social media and flaunt it. Just look at this and put it in the comments if you think this is wise.
One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping.
See, right there alone, that's how they played a vicious game. This is the Department of Justice. They're using the bare general meaning of the statute, meaning you prevent someone from leaving. That's kidnapping. You got your back to the door. They can't go out the door, and your man allegedly got an AK-47 style rifle at his forehead. Right there, that's kidnapping. And that's a lot right there.
The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm.
And that's why he's looking at the charge called felon in possession of a firearm, which doubles the time you're looking at, from like 5 years to at least 12 years to 5 months on the low end. Machine gun, like I said, runs it up to another 20 years. So now he's looking at 20 years just for the assault style AK-47 weapon.
His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims.
Now, do you think that Pooh Shiesty's father should step up and claim this right now, being that Pooh Shiesty is the breadwinner? Because you know in the street, and that's why I say don't get involved in the street, because the rules is harsh. The low man on the totem pole is the one that take the beef to go to jail to keep the top man on the totem pole afloat so that they can continue to take care of the empire, AKA the brand. So do you think Pooh Shiesty's father should step up and say, it was mine, my son had nothing to do with it? Should he make a deal and tell him that, okay, I know, you know, victim said that my son had a AK-47 style rifle, but I'm going to get on the stand. I'm going to let him know that they lied, that was me, and blow your case up and give you a chance at losing it. Or you could give me the 40 years. I go do the 40 years for my son to be able to stay out here and live his life because I've lived mine. Would any of you be willing to do that for your son? Or would you then turn around and say, oh no, he knew what he was doing. He did it on his own. But you was with me, Pops. You could have stopped me. You're my guardian. Even though I'm an adult. But you're the one I look up to. I saw a video where Pooh Shiesty bought his father a big old chain and looked out for him, welcomed him in. And daddy don't stop him from a crash out mission like this. Right off the bat, daddy's supposed to claim this because daddy should have stopped it and this should have never happened. If you think I'm wrong, put it in the comments. I know your mentality is a little different, but that's why I say stay on the sidewalk, man. The street is not for everybody. That's why they have sidewalk, and that's why they got charges called jaywalking. I was in Vegas, and they told me when I was crossing the street, middle of the street, police pulled me over, stopped traffic and everything, like, you know, like I was a bank robber. I said, what's the problem? He said, oh, you was jaywalking. Jaywalking? No, I was straight walking. You know what I mean? I don't know what you mean. Jaywalk is a law everywhere, he tells me. I said, man, New York, we cross the street wherever. Oh, you one of the New York boys? Yeah, you know. He said, all right, I'm going to let you go. And he let me go. But something simple as that, that's why I say, man, I had a choice to either jaywalk or stay on the sidewalk. I did what I normally do and I screwed up and I jaywalked. That's why I'm telling y'all to stay on the sidewalk. All right, let's ride back to this.
The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendant's roles in the federal offense.
Let's hear it.
This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location.
Can you believe Pooh Shiesty was on electric monitor while he was at the place of the offense committing the crime, allegedly, and then they turn around and I think they even said that he was outside the radius of that. Let's listen out, see if he was outside the radius of where he was supposed to be with the home confinement monitor.
which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas.
That means they tracked them with surveillance cameras. They went back and watched every camera pass, every light that they turned that had a camera, and that's how vicious technology is. And then they also had a video of him in there. Do you think that the victim may step up and say it was just a skit? I think it was Poetic Flacco or City Nash said it, you know? But they could try that defense. Because they'll have to go to trial with it if the government don't buy it. But the government just wants somebody, and I'm sure the daddy's a big fish, not as big as Pooh Shiesty, but he might be able to get away with sacrificing his freedom for Pooh Shiesty.
Car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group, surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. The victims in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here, and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution.
You see how all the alphabet boys got involved to take him down? You see how he put himself in that situation? Pooh Shiesty, what is wrong with you? Pooh Shiesty came home first day out, #1 on the charts for multiple weeks, made a bag, interviews, and topped the man, and Pops couldn't hold you down. If you was my son, I would have put shackles on you. I may have handcuffed and shackled you and walked you around with your handcuffs and shackles to the bag. And then after the bag is accumulated, then I'll sit you down while you're still handcuffed and shackled and told you, son, I had to do it. It was for our own good. How would you handle it if it was Pooh Shiesty's father and he come home and he's on top like this and he's angry that he's in a bad record deal that he don't like and he's trying to get out of it, and he say, I'm going to call him up, go see him with my AK-47, bring the homies, and, we're going to rob this dude. And then, do you think Pop's willing to say, I'm going? Or you think Pooh Shiesty say, come on, Pop? And not thinking Pops went? Or do you think Pops was thinking when he went? Somebody put in the comments, man. Somebody put in the comments, let me know if you think Pops was thinking when he went. And another thing, my number is up here. If y'all want to call, be respectable, I answer the phone. I like to connect with the people. If you got any content you want me to, speak on, send it to this number. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Unique Mecca Audio, and my man Real Balls TTTV, because that's how we do it. Just so that you understand, all right? Let's see. Do you think that this is the dumbest thing ever? Or do you think this is just another fork in the road for Pooh Shiesty? It sure seems like the dumbest thing ever. All right, let's tap out because I've been on here long enough. Just want to give you a little love. Let you see what it's about. Make sure you check out the video before this. It's going to be right down here in the description. It's another joint, you know, on when they raided Pooh Shiesty house. I think you need to listen to that. And I've been saying it from day one the whole time. Pooh Shiesty involved, his father involved. Pops is supposed to claim it if the soldiers don't claim it. The soldiers is the first to step up. If they don't step up, then it's up to the father to step up and free the son to keep the flow of the bag rolling and know he made a bad choice by not stopping the son when he went to make this crash out move. What do y'all think about that? Someone put it in the comments. All right. And don't forget to hit the like button. And I'm out of here.
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squealing to the cops, make an audio.
Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. Make a what? Make a audio. We gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the dapper den. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend the air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours, so we can get back to the
cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.